If you're watching this, you probably own a GDI engine or a 2013 Hyundai Genesis with a 3.8 liter motor. My 2013 Hyundai Genesis has about 113,000 miles, and we are getting all the symptoms of dirty valves. How do you know that you have dirty valves? You're probably getting a misfire upon startup, which this vehicle has. We're gonna tackle this ourselves, and I'm gonna show you how easy it can be. 3 steps: taking it apart, cleaning it, and putting it back together. Anyone can do this in their garage, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is. So the way that we're gonna tackle it today is we're gonna use simple brake cleaner and some seafoam to go ahead and clean them out.
Yes, I'm very aware this car does not have a hood prop.
So for the most part, everything is fairly accessible. It's pretty much gonna be a whole lot of 10 millimeters taken apart the top plenum. It's as simple as following left to right of the wiring harness where we're going to be removing this, and we're going to start by removing the cold air intake. So far, I've taken out the intake manifold and the cold air intake. I chose to leave the throttle body still attached to the car because there are coolant lines running through this throttle body, and I don't want to have to deal with burping the system when we're done. So what remains is there's still the top part of the head that I have to remove. Once this part's removed, we'll have full access to the actual valves themselves, and we can go ahead and start cleaning.
So for the next part, we're going to be using this T6, and we're going to be removing upper intake together.
So before I hit it with an impact, I'm going to go ahead and crack all these bolts first. So I have a DeWalt tool, so it's lefty tighty, righty loosey. And that is 8. Alrighty, so we're being held down by a hose. Alright.
So we're switching over to the GoPro briefly so we can really get up in here and really see how bad it looks. And each one of these bad boys is pretty bad, but it's nowhere near as bad as I imagined. So let's start the cleaning process. Over here, this valve is open. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a towel over this cylinder while we work on the rest.
So I'm gonna do a controlled test. I'm gonna go ahead and try the right side of the engine with brake cleaner, and the left side's gonna start off with the seafoam. And just to be clear, we are gonna hit the whole engine with both. I just wanna see which one performs better just at the beginning.
Do yourself a favor and put on eye protection because that stuff hit me in the face. Now, the brake fluid is definitely the most painful one to deal with, but it is doing work. And on this other side, you can see what the seafoam's doing. It's got that blue hue tint inside.
So now on the left side, now that we've cleaned it, we've hit it with some seafoam, we're gonna go ahead and start spraying with some air and check out how far and how much we've cleaned up. It's exactly as messy as you would imagine. Time to take a look.
Look at how we're doing. First pass, it's not impressive. This is gonna take a few passes for sure because this does not look impressive. Brake cleaner, and it looks like the brake cleaner cleaned a lot more, but it definitely looks like there's still a carbon deposit. So if you see right there, there is a carbon deposit, but it's a much cleaner result than the seafoam.
Alrighty, so now we've done cleaned out these two cylinders and they're significantly better than where we started. Now we need to work on the cylinders that the valves are open. And to do that, we're gonna take our wrench and our socket, which is a 22 millimeter, and we're gonna rotate the engine and we're gonna allow the valves that are open to close, opening up these valves so that we can clean the leftovers.
This is our last cylinder. As you see in there, it's pretty carved up. So we're gonna use this one as a good example of before and after. So now that we've cleaned all of the cylinders, we will take a quick look at the rough before and after of the cylinders. And if you want my honest opinion in this type of situation, truthfully, I ended up using majority just brake cleaner, towels, and air. This is very doable at home. Now comes the fun part. Do it all in reverse. Now it's starting to look like an engine again. Alright, so let's recap. So for this Genesis 3.8 liter GDI engine, I absolutely recommend doing this job. My engine, without a doubt, runs better. That's simple. As far as fuel economy goes, time will do the difference in telling that. But for right now, this engine is just better now that I've done the job. What do you need? A 10 millimeter, a 12 millimeter, some vice grips, a flathead, and a can of brake cleaner. I wouldn't buy the seafoam again. Maybe I just used it wrong, and maybe it was meant for a different purpose. But the brake cleaner just won all around. If you're debating on if you should do a walnut or if you should do the brake cleaner route, it just depends on your budget. For me personally, I could do it here at home in my garage. It took me a few hours to do it. And the results of the brake cleaner versus potentially the walnut, I mean, it's really just up to you at that point. But for me, this job was very, very, very conveniently easy. I'd give it a 3 out of 10, depending on your skill level. And truthfully guys, you can do this at home yourself to save yourself $1. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you next time.